Hey guys, James here again. This is what if Luffy ate the Kumo-Kumo no Mi or the Cloud fruit. Now, so about the last video I did on this, sorry I didn't upload it for like a week. Some things I can involve with Luffy's power is like, so in addition to clouds is Luffy can get aerokinesis, which is basically air control, and hydrokinesis. No, not like insane levels like Storm from X-Men or like a whole complete control over wind, but Luffy can like absorb moisture or kind of like what Crocodile can do with water. That's what Luffy can do with it. Like he can absorb it, or he can just dampen something if he would choose, just to make the floor slippery and wet. Or with air, you can kind of just like it can like make a small vacuum of it in his palm and shoot it out as like a condensed blast, like a kind of like a gale palm, or you can just like just suck in the air like just suck in the air like a vacuum, or shoot it out just as a cannon. Or he can kind of just like use it to just hold himself up for a bit, not like fly or glide on the full extent, but for a little bit. So yeah. Now, we left off with Luffy meeting Nojiko, Luffy, Usopp, and Zoro meeting Nojiko after Luffy beat up two of Arlong's fishmen. Or Luffy beat up one, then Zoro beat up the other one. I forgot how it went. But Nojiko came down to the dock, seeing Usopp kind of hiding under the deck as he saw two giant fishmen, as he has never seen before. You have Zoro, who's questioning questioning Luffy what a fishman is, and Luffy doesn't know either. He's heard of them, doesn't know what they are. Also, I forgot, they don't have the Mary. Luffy wants to build his own ship. That'll come into play at Water 7. But as Luffy goes to each and every island, if he doesn't think his ship is big enough, he'll build a bigger one. But yeah. Now we're going to fast forward a bit. So, on an hour of being Kokashi Village, Arlong was noticed like the two guys he sent out didn't come back yet, and then eventually Arlong would send. Wait, let me pause to see the guy's name. All right, so Arlong's crew had a pretty decent crew. Also, if those of you who didn't know, yes, Arlong does have a ship, because I had one of my friends who watched my videos. He DM'd me asking if Arlong even had a ship because basically Arlong's a fisherman. He didn't think that Arlong needed a ship. Arlong does have a ship called the Shark Superb. It appeared in the manga and anime, I believe. It only appeared in the anime, then it's in the anime only. Then yeah, I can just give him Shark Supreme or Superb. No, not Supreme. But yeah, Kurubi came to check on the other two fishermen. These two fishermen were actually nameless, as they're nameless on the crew. Well, they're not nameless on the crew, but they're nameless in the anime and manga. So Kurubi and Chu and Pitharo. Those three can come run after Luffy or look for them. By the time they get there, they see the two fishmen are tied up and knocked out. Then they look at the ship, or the merchant ship, with basically where Luffy, Zoro, Nojiko, and Usopp are hanging out. Kurubi instantly runs in trying to punch Luffy in the face, but his fist goes right through Luffy's face, and Luffy makes his arm kind of puff out, grow in the same size, and then he spots at Kurubi. Kurubi kind of tries to block it, but where he looks around, he's in an all white room. Luffy then says holding cell. Suddenly, or like crushing holding cell. As Luffy's arm then begins kind of like shrinking back to normal as Kurubi's inside it. And eventually Luffy's arm goes back to normal, but there's a very visible outline of Kurubi there. Luffy can actually absorb Kurubi by crushing his bones and body basically into dust, but he's not going to do that because he's not going to kill someone. By the time he lets Kurubi go, Kurubi basically is kind of like a fish out of water, like he's drying out. Kurubi then has to crawl towards the water as Chu and Isidoro are questioning what happened to Chu. And everyone else there is even shocked, even Zoro and Usopp. The note was like, I don't seem like he even tell them their powers. Luffy then says, well, Zoro, Usopp, there's something you should know about my power. I can slightly control air and water. Chu goes to punch Luffy, as Luffy then says like this. As then he holds his hand out, and a giant vacuum of air is twisting towards Chu, and it pulls Chu's arm into Luffy's, or hand in Luffy's palm. Luffy then kind of punching Chu in the face, like as he holds Chu's other arm hostage. Eventually, uppercuts Chu right into Pizarro, and Luffy looks at Usopp saying, instead of being scared, fire something at them, please. And this is when Usopp says, oh yeah, this then fires a lead ball at Chu that hits him right in the head. Chu holds his head like, damn it! But then Usopp yells, alcohol star, as he hits Chu and Pizarro with it. And then Usopp questioning what he should do. So he realizes, there's a lighter. Mainly the lighter is basically for some stuff that Luffy has on board, like some of it's flammable, and it can be used like tricks, like fireworks on the ship. Some like not like they can explode just like nice movement. It's fireworks for celebrations. So Usopp grabs a lighter for one of the fireworks and lights it and throws it on Kurubi and Chu. Not Kurubi, on Chu and Hisaro. They then ignite as they then run around. He says, "Oh, the firework from the lighter from the water." Luffy kind of just like sucks up some of the water, hoping the lighter comes with it, and it does. But Luffy then realizes the lighter doesn't work anymore. Luffy then says, "How about this?" He then just looking at some liquid, but this still doesn't work. Luffy throws a lighter at Usopp's head, saying, "You owe me a new lighter." He goes, "Oh wait, how about this?" Yeah, he offers fireworks to Nojiko, as Luffy says, once we beat up the rest of them, you guys, can you buy the fireworks so you guys celebrate?" And Nojiko will say, "Yeah, sure." He jumps on the ship and brings out like the giant box of fireworks, but Nojiko just takes them, brings them to Gin or Gen. Gen's questioning about like where she get these. And she says, "Oh, some merchants came by and Arlong's crew tried to fight them, but they beat up Arlong." And Nami happened to be walking by and heard that. She goes down to the dock, saying Chu and Hisaro are on fire. Well, Kurubi is actually trying to like just suck in as much water as he can. But eventually, once Kurubi jumps aboard again, Luffy punches him across the jaw, knocking him out. And Luffy ties up Chu and Hisaro and Kurubi. Once Chu and Hisaro are not people, Luffy just kicks in the water, so they're extinguished. But Zoro pulls them back up and ties them up with the other two. They then walk into the base as Zoro looks at Hachi, who already has his swords ready. Arlong says, "Are you the merchant? Are you the merchant that beat up my men?" Luffy then says, "Yeah, I am. Your men kind of being rude to us, so we beat them up." Arlong says, "Oh, excuse them. What goods do you have?" Luffy then says, "A little bit of everything, I guess. We don't have fish. Hey, you guys want to donate your bodies so you can sell fish?" Arlong scowls, knowing that's basically Luffy threatening to kill them. But Hachi then says, "Wait, what?" Hachi's visibly confused by that. As Arlong says, "Never mind it, Hachi. Just kill them." Hachi runs at Luffy as Zoro then just says, "One sword style." And suddenly he appears behind Hachi with his sword pointing forward and him holding his arm straight. Hachi then gets a large slash mark appear on his chest and as Hachi falls over. Hachi was told to kill Luffy, not Zoro. So Hachi wasn't looking out for Zoro, he was looking out just for Luffy. As soon as Hachi falls over, Arlong's like that does incredibly fast. Now a lot more of Arlong's men rush at Luffy, as Usopp, who actually climbed up somewhere high just to get a good angle, would actually had stolen some of the bullets from some of Arlong's fishmen that did have guns. He stole some of the bullets from them, like the nameless ones that Luffy beat up. Some of the bullets. Usopp has them like packed back in the slingshot, and Usopp uses as much muscle as he can, and pulls them back and lets go. As a lot of the fishmen are bombarded with bullets, some of the bullets even go through them. As they get hit, some even crawl back in the water just so like they don't get just so they don't keep getting bombarded. Luffy gives a thumbs up to Usopp, as Luffy then puts his hands on the ground, saying "crush." As soon as Luffy even puts as much muscle as he can into it, even using the clouds, as the ground then begins crumbling all the way up to Arlong. Arlong falls into the giant crater that was made. When he's about to fall, Luffy would just uppercut him across the jaw, sending him flying into the air. As soon as Arlong sent flying into the air, Luffy would grab his staff and throw it at Arlong, and hit Arlong across not across the face, just right into his nose, breaking it and knocking Arlong out. Luffy then uses clouds to just grab the staff and pull it back to him. Luffy then says, I think that settles that." He said Nami, who's actually kind of ready for a fight, holding her staff out. Luffy just walks up to Nami, punching the staff in half. And Nami almost just pisses herself off with that, just one thing that scared her. So, yeah. Now, Nami and Luffy basically make eye contact as Luffy holds out his hand. And he can already tell that Nami is kind of scared of Arlong and him. But as soon as he holds out his hand, he senses that Nami's fear is kind of going away of him. Nami goes to hit Luffy across the face because she's a little scared of him, but staff just goes through, just broken halves go through his head. But staff is going through him, as Luffy says, "We're not here to hurt you. We're kind of just here to let you free, I guess." Nami then says, "Why then? Why?" Luffy then says, "Well, he's a tyrant. He should be killed, right?" And he then holds out the staff as a giant ball of clouds would appear, then it's compressed to basically the size of like a basic rock. We think shoots out at Arlong, who's just now standing up, and it's Arlong across the chest, and almost makes a hole through him, but just a lot of blood comes out of that certain spot. But Arlong sent flying back halfway, basically not across the east, but pretty far away from the island. As Arlong lands in the water and is there now. That's why Arlong's crew that crawled in the water so they didn't get shot by guns. Saw Luffy beat Arlong like that, and they all swam away. All of them. Crew we had actually was able to free them until they saw Luffy almost kill Arlong, or they think he killed Arlong. But yeah, now they all trying to swim away. The only one that didn't swim away is Hachi, who's unconscious. And the ones that Usopp accidentally killed, but there's only like one of them that Usopp killed. It looks like when he killed him because the bullet actually went into his head. Eventually, Luffy would look at Nami saying, "Would you want to show me around, seeing if there's any goods I can take from Arlong?" Nami agrees, as she'd been showing Luffy around, it's been a few minutes after Luffy had confirmed he wasn't a threat. But Nami showed him around. Eventually, Luffy took Arlong's sword, kept it on the ship as something like a memento. Luffy keeps it, and keeps looking around until eventually he comes across, he comes across some Nami's room of maps. Looks at each and every map. There's not Nami that says, "Wait, don't touch those." Luffy says, "Why not?" It says, "Well, those aren't for sale." Luffy says, "Oh, you're a navigator, right?" Nami says, "Yeah." Luffy says, "Join my crew." Now Nami says, "Join your merchant ship?" He says, "Nah, I'm only trading in the East Blue, so we have enough money in the Grand Line. And once we get across the Grand Line, then we'll be full-fledged pirates." So something says, "Hey, Captain, do you mind if I get some bullets?" Nami says, "Well, there's some bullets downstairs if you want to go grab them." He holds up to Usopp, as Usopp then goes downstairs and grabs as much bullets as he can. As he wants to make some new stars with that. And Usopp begins gathering a lot of plastic not plastic, like containers that can be molded into like balls. Now eventually, once Usopp has all the stuff he needs, Luffy has all the stuff he wants, Zoro has Hachi's swords, and he has Arlong's giant sword, because Luffy's letting him have that. Now, Zoro's questioning why Luffy's giving that to him, basically, but yeah, Luffy, I'll explain that once we get on the ship. But Nami, Nami shot Luffy plans to go in the Grand Line. Then again, Arlong has told her he's a warlord, and Luffy beat a warlord. So, Nami thinks that Luffy might be strong enough to go in the Grand Line, and eventually Luffy says, "Alright, after we finish going throughout the East, we're going to the Grand Line." So, yeah. Now, they talk for a bit, and eventually Nami agrees to go to the Grand Line with Luffy. Become his navigator. So they go to Luffy's ship as villagers celebrate for a few days. Luffy trades with as much villagers as they want. Luffy kind of does some mixed trade with shops. Eventually, Luffy has his storage room stocked, and Luffy looks at Arlong's ship, the Shark Superb. Luffy says, "Do any one of you villagers know how to repair houses, take apart houses, basically do anyone of you work with large structures?" Pause real quick. All right, so. Eventually, some of the villagers that do know how to repair big objects like houses. Some of them none of them are shipwrights, but they can get the basis of it. Now, Usopp begins helping Luffy, thinking he could probably learn a little bit from this. But eventually, taking back the ship, Nami even tells him where some valuables in the ship are. Luffy doesn't really need a lot of money; he already has a lot of it from trading in the East. So once they take Arlong's ship apart, they add on to Luffy's. He said, "Now some of the wood is red, and Luffy's okay with that. As Straw Luffy, there's a red band on the hat. Leave the whole thing done." Now, Usopp, once he finishes his part, he just draws Jolly Roger for the Straw Hats and sets it up. But Luffy once Luffy saw the Jolly Roger set up, Luffy just took it down immediately, saying, "We cannot be known as pirates yet. We can be known as taking down Arlong, but we cannot be known as pirates yet. So far, we're known as merchants, and that's really it, the strong merchants." But yeah. Eventually, the Luffy ship is built up, and it's to the point where it's a little bit bigger than the Mary. Once it's bigger than the Mary, we chuckle, saying, "Wow, we thought the ship you were planning to give us would be this big." Some would say, "Nope, a little bit smaller." Usopp did learn a bit on how repair and set things up. Usopp even learned how to repair the ship a little bit because of Nami being on the ship. I assume she's been on the ship a few times. Now, Nami, half the money she saved up for Arlong, and she ended up once saved up the money to buy her village back, she gave half of it to the villagers, and the other half went with her and the Straw Hats. Now, Usopp, knowing that Luffy broke Nami's staff, he would actually ask Luffy, "Luffy, do you ever use your staff seriously?" Luffy says, Well, not really. I'm supposed to shoot clouds out of it or make clouds. Then Usopp says, "Well, you kind of broke Nami's. Well, why don't you give her your staff just to make amends, and she has a weapon to fight with." Usopp says, How about this? Why don't you make her a staff?" Usopp says, "Wait, what?" Nami asks, "Well, not Nami. If you ask Nami, she's a navigator. Can she? She should go with weather." And Nami describes what she knows about weather. I seen the Usopp saying, "All right, you heard her. Try to make it." Usopp just sighs, saying, "I'll try." And Usopp begins trying to make Nami her things, her climate attack basically. Now, eventually Nami, Luffy, Zoro, Usopp sail all the way to the Baratier. We get to the Baratier. Luffy just gets off the ship, and the cooks look out the window seeing the ship coming, and they don't see a Jolly Roger. They kind of just see Luffy is moving some boxes down like below the deck, and the ship's pretty big for a merchant ship, but it doesn't have a pirate flag, so they allow the ship to come on and come dock there. They jump on, and Luffy does have a bounty because he did beat up some Marines, and that would give him a bounty. Even if the Marine was rogue, he does have a bounty that's bounty worthy. So Luffy doesn't really they don't need him dead. So his poster right now only says only alive. So just for being a corrupt Marine, it says only alive. Now, when Luffy goes inside the Baratier, and begins actually asks, Sanji would greet him "Oh, hey, welcome Baratier." Luffy says, I'm not here personally for food. My crew might be hungry, but can I talk like the head chef or someone that would handle the food?" Sanji's a little confused, saying, "Sure." He brings Luffy to Zeph, and Zeph and Luffy will talk for a bit. As Zeph and Luffy talk for a bit, Zeph discovers, that Luffy is ready, not ready, but just wants to trade. So as they're about to trade, it suddenly a boom is heard as the boom, not like a cannon, but the door of the Baratier is punched down by Johnny, Yosuke, and Gin. As they're hungry, and the door wouldn't open. So yeah, but pause real quick. Alright, so once Johnny and Yosuke and Gin punch on the door, Luffy just walks down, and Zeph follows him. Sanji's ready for a fight for some of the cooks, until Zoro says, "Oh, Johnny, Yosuke, what are you guys doing here? Who's that guy?" He points to Gin. Luffy looks at Zoro, saying, "Yeah, who are those two?" Zoro then says, "Oh, when I was a pirate hunter, a bounty hunter, those two were part of my group. They help me hunt people." Luffy says, "So, underlings?" Johnny Yosuke then says, "Don't put it that way." Zoro saying, "Big Zoro." Johnny runs to Zoro saying, "That guy right there is once again saying he helps me and Yosuke get here. Yosuke's really sick." Zoro says, "Oh, with what?" And then suddenly Yosuke falls over, spitting out some blood, and he investigates Yosuke with Nami helping him. And then Zeph comes down I was a pirate. I've seen many diseases, so I can probably identify it. And looks in Gin's mouth. As I said, that's where the blood came from. And then he asks, "Johnny, we got shot at, stabbed." Yosuke says, "On which occasion? We've been shot at over 100 times, and I've been stabbed a few times." This is when Zeph just face home, saying, "Within the last week, at least." Gin says, not Gin. Johnny says, "Nope, we haven't been shot at for 2 weeks. We're stabbed at." And that's when Zeph says, "All right, I thought so, because this is scurvy. It can be solved in probably a few days." As he drags Yosuke to the back, and then begins they squeeze some, gave him some orange juice, squeeze some oranges into his mouth. Yeah. Luffy says, were those oranges from your ship or ours?" "Well, not were those oranges from your kitchen?" Zeph says, "Yeah, I think so." Luffy pays for them, saying, Actually he says, "How about this? I have some Meekins and some oranges on my ship. Why don't we trade for a bit?" It says, "Hey, can you get some of my Meekins?" Luffy says, 20,000 berries. He says, "Sell some, go ahead." Luffy gives her 20,000, runs on the ship, and gives some Meekins and oranges to Zeph. Zeph doesn't pay this. As Luffy's like, this is like this is like his way of thinking. Luffy's way of thinking. Well, this is Luffy's way of thinking Zeph for helping Yosuke. Then Luffy throws one of the Mikins to like the Gin, and then Sanji comes out with some food for Gin. So Gin's at Straht's table eating in Luffy's spot. After Gin finishes eating, he thanks Straht, and Luffy questions who Gin is. Gin explains who he is, and basically, yes, he gets Zeph. Can he bring his captain here so they can get some food? They haven't eaten in a few days, or eaten or drink anything. Some of them even died from it. Oops, my bad. Sorry about that. Throwing something else somewhere. But Zeph will say sure, as Luffy then says, "Oh yeah, go ahead, go and bring him here." Now, well, like Luffy says, once Gin leaves, he tells Zeph, they're pirates, and I don't think some of your crew do that for fighting some of the pirates here. I've seen some of them with devil fruits. So if you guys need help, I'm here to offer it. Zeph says thank you to Luffy. Sanji will question, what are devil fruits? Luffy says, well, the fruits are carrying special abilities. There's three categories, I believe. There's Logia, Zone, and Paramecia. He goes over the categories with his crew and Zeph and Sanji. And eventually, they question Zeph doesn't even know all three categories. He even says I've experienced a few devil fruit users, but what are the categories? I don't know what they are. He says, all right. So there's Paramecia, which is me, not Paramecia. Zone, so Logia, that's me. And then Zeph questions Logia, what's that? He says, try to punch me in the face. Sanji goes to punch Luffy in the face, and knowing that Luffy's probably not going to fight back. He goes kick Luffy in the face. His foot goes right through Luffy's head. It just pushes in the clouds, and then goes back to normal. Luffy says, this is Paramecia. Basically, you can phase through not phase through. You're basically intangible. You're not really a physical being. I'm made of clouds. There's a marine base. There's a marine island nearby called on Logtown. His name is Smoker. And I can assume because of his name, so the rumor has devil fruit. Because of his name, I assume it's probably a Logia devil fruit similar to mine. That's the smoke. That's like a smoke fruit. If it's not, then I don't know what power he has. But then Zone, you can turn into an animal. And then we have Paramecia, which is your physical structure is affected, or what things you can do or enhance. Thinks about some books he's read. One of them was a devil fruit encyclopedia, which got torn up, but he doesn't know how, but it got torn up somehow. And then Luffy says, oh yeah, there's devil fruit called Ope no Mi. It's really strong. But basically that devil fruit, it can just give you random abilities. That devil fruit basically makes you a living surgeon. Not a living surgeon, but makes you a living surgical table. You can perform surgeries on people anywhere, anyway, even if they're standing, sitting, laying down, anyway. Now, once Zeph gets an explanation, he then says, but they all have the same weakness, which is water. Luffy then says, yep, water. Zeph says, okay. Well, besides your cloud thing, can you describe more about devil fruits in case we need some more things? Luffy then says, I think so. Well, my devil fruit gives me extra abilities, I can slightly control water and air. And I guess fog, to some extent. Luffy kind of creates some fog from his hand. Luffy says, well, if I were to think, some zones might have more killer intent because they might be carnivores, omnivores, herbivores. Carnivores might have more have a way of more wanting to kill people, while herbivores have maybe a more peaceful nature. Then we have Paramecias who might be able to turn into rubber, something like that. And if you were to be able to turn into rubber, you'd be stretchy. Plus, your body would be a little more able to transform into things, probably expand, probably go faster because your body's is able to handle harsher things. So might be able to speed up your blood flow or make your bones bigger, stuff like that. Stuff like that would basically be it. And you could be immune to bullets, punches, kicks. Blades could be your downfall. Zeph gets the idea and says, alright, thanks. Then, eventually, a few hours pass, and Gin with the Donkey Pirates arrive. Donkey bursts in, begging for food, and Sanji and some of the chefs bring them the food that's already prepared, and some of it's still all this warm. Now, eventually, after Don Krieg and his crew eat, Gin is talking to the Straht's, and Gin's actually being patched up by Nami and Luffy and some of the cooks that do know some medical expertise, because Gin was covered in bruises and stuff. Full Body just watching this, as he knows who Luffy is, but Luffy's bounty is around, throughout the years, it grew since he had a 7 million berry bounty at, Robin's age. well, when Robin got her first bounty, Luffy was like Robin's age at that time. When Luffy was like 8 years old, he had a bounty of like not bounty yet. When he was like 10, that's when he got his first bounty of a few million, because like it was like 7 million they got on the bounty. And then Luffy had a bounty of like 15 million by the time he left Shelltown, and kind of went on doing his thing as he beat up Buggy. Then that would lead him to a bounty of around 30 million. Then he beat up Arlong, gave him a bounty of that'd give him a bounty of like, I assume maybe Arlong's bounty was like 20 million. That gave Luffy another like 38 million. That was Luffy's bounty for beating up Arlong. I'll say that. But Full Body knows who Luffy is, but doesn't know if he can take Luffy on. As Luffy had taken down a lot of people by himself, and Luffy has a crew, but doesn't know how strong they are since they don't have bounties. And, yeah. Now, Luffy has a higher bounty than Don Krieg, so Full Body is also questioning that. That Don Krieg's like one of the ones with the higher bounty in the East. Eventually, Full Body's like, you gotta fight Lucy or you can't get past Smoker, because he plans to leave the East Blue to go to the Grand Line, I assume. But he only wanted alive, so Smoker can't kill him like he does some pirates. But one fast forward a bit. Yeah. Don Krieg eventually burst in, demanding they hand over the Brattier and whoever ship that is outside is went to Luffy's ship. Full Body stands up saying, alright, hold it there, Don Krieg. Hold it right there, Don Krieg. No question who Full Body is, Full Body says, I'm Lieutenant Full Body. You surrender to me right now, you and your crew. Pearl walks in and just punches Full Body across the jaw, knocking him out. Full Body, he was gonna pull the same thing that Sanji did, not Sanji did in canon, but Sanji didn't do it because of Sanji, Luffy, and basically his whole crew. But eventually, when Pearl knocked out Full Body, Luffy just looked at them saying, well, we can't have our ship, we just built it. Luffy putting a gun to his head saying, do you understand the situation you're in? Luffy then says, yep, very well. His uppercuts not Full Body. Uppercuts Krieg, breaking his jaw and knocking out a few teeth. His Full Body gets sent flying, not Full Body. Don Krieg gets sent flying right out the door. Luffy looks at Pearl, who's ready for a fight. But this leads to Zoro legit jumping at Pearl, trying to cut Pearl in half. Not in half, but cutting him, but trying to cut him. Pearl block, but Zoro just Zoro's sword gets stuck in it. Zoro using his sword in the other hand will hit his other sword, which breaks one of Pearl's shields in half. Pearl being really angry now because the shield got broke, would be enraged and be a little try to punch Zoro. This is when Sanji would jump in the air, and he tells, hey, Pirate Hunter, duck. This is when Zoro would duck. Sanji comes from above, kicking Pearl right in the face and flying right out the door, breaking some of it. Now, some of the Don Krieg pirates rush in, trying to kill Sanji and Zoro, but Yosuke, who's actually feeling a little better now, and Johnny then cut down those pirates, saying, alright, we win. It's clear. Your leader is knocked out, your second strongest is down, and then got Gin, who has his tonfa up, but as soon as Gin goes to hit Johnny and Yosuke, one of them, Usopp would grab Gin's arm and then slam him on his head, kind of like what Deku did to Bakugo. Remember when the first fight they had, the anime, or when during the Heroes vs. Villains thing, what Deku did to Bakugo. Basically, that's what Usopp did to Gin. He comes Gin on his back. Gin spits up a little bit, just spits out some saliva, I guess. And goes to hit Usopp, but Usopp having the advantage because Gin's a little dazed right now. Usopp kicks him across the jaw, saying, "Come on, just fight your crew. They're being evil, and I can tell you're not like that." Gin tries to get up again, but Usopp just jumps on Gin, just sitting on him, so Gin can't get up. As Usopp kind of holds Gin's arms down, saying, "Luffy, everyone else, go handle them. I'll just make sure you can't move." Pearl, having some blood pouring out of his mouth, so does Don Krieg. They get up, ready to fight. As Pearl goes all out now, Don Krieg gets most of his weapons ready. And when Don Krieg fires some bullets, Luffy legit just covers in clouds as the clouds just catch the bullets. Luffy then says, kind of annoying. Luffy then just points his finger down, middle finger down, as Don Krieg what are you doing? Suddenly Don Krieg is then flung underwater, deep underwater, and then when Luffy can't really have control of his clouds anymore, they disperse in the water. Now, Don Krieg tries to swim back up, but his armor's weighing him down. Well, deep underwater, his armor's weighing him down, I assume. So as Don Krieg tries to swim back up, as soon as Don Krieg's hand reaches the hole, he then drowns. Passes out because he's drowning. So Don Krieg falls underwater, and he's drowning. Pearl, seeing Don Krieg drown, actually jump underwater, trying grabs him and goes above. As he throws John Krieg above, John Krieg gets back on the ground, picking up a lot of water. He's still unconscious, but he's not to drown anymore. Then Pearl, when he threw Don Krieg back onto the docks, and he broke some of Don Krieg's armor. But Pearl comes back up, and as soon as he gets back up, he sees Nami looking down at him as she hits him across the face using her staff. And she had like an extra staff, but Usopp was already building her new climb attack. But she hits Pearl across the face using her staff, which knocks him out, and she grabs Pearl's helmet, just pulls him back up, halfway up. She can't pull him up anymore. Then Sanji would jump down, beating up the rest of Don Krieg's crew with not Gin, but the rest of the Strats. So eventually they see Mihawk in the distance. Luffy says, "I think that's their strongest." Suddenly Mihawk would appear in front of Luffy, saying, "No, I'm not part of their crew. I was hunting them down, but you did me the favor of taking them down. Not favor, was the misfortune taking them down. I was bored, and they're my way of having fun." Luffy says, "Well, I'm sorry about that." Luffy is about to argue with Mihawk until Zoro grabbed Luffy, saying, "Luffy, let me fight him." Luffy says, "Zoro, he's not really into trying to fight us." As then Zoro says, "He's from swordsman in the world. Drake kill Mihawk." Luffy immediately gets a cold shiver, knowing that if he were to fight Mihawk, he's most likely going to die. Zoro does think that too, but not on a higher scale as Luffy. Zoro let's fight Mihawk, but Luffy would grab Zoro, saying, "Zoro, don't fight him yet." "Well, if you're going to fight him, don't use your swords. He'll probably shatter them." Zoro then says, "My swords are broken, then throw me the other one." As they're hitting it like Arlong's blade. As Zoro was training with that for a bit, as it was pretty heavy. Luffy would nod as Zoro and Mihawk then begin fighting. Once Mihawk shatters both of Zoro's blades, Luffy would grab grab Arlong's blade and throw it to Zoro. As then Johnny would throw his blade to Zoro. Zoro would catch it, saying, "This seems kind of weird." As Zoro's ready for a fight, he gets ready to fight Mihawk again, and Zoro and Mihawk would begin fighting. Then Zoro would get in the air. As Zoro then kicks the air, shoots himself back down. As there's enough force behind it to basically do a skywalk, he shoots himself back down. Zoro would yell, "Purgatory Onigiri." Now this is a minus all the hockey infused with it, but I mainly gave Zoro Arlong's blade for the fact that it could be he used Killer's scythe, and Zoro would get Johnny's blade if his blades are shattered. As soon as Zoro uses Purgatory Onigiri, Arlong's blade would basically stop a lot of the force from Mihawk's blade, but not Zoro's. But Arlong's blade is still shattered, and Zoro would use Johnny's blade, but Johnny's blade is kind of cracked. Because all of the force from Mihawk's blade was stopped by Arlong's. But Johnny's blade is cracked, and Zoro jumps back, saying, "This is a losing battle, but I still want to fight." Zoro still begins fighting Mihawk using the two-sword style now, and he has to put Wado on the line. Then, as Mihawk's about to break Wado, Zoro would just throw Wado into the ground and smack away Mihawk's blade, trying to use Johnny, or tries to slap it away, but Johnny's blade isn't shattered. As Zoro's like, "Damn it!" But he looks at Mihawk, who's about to finish him, and Zoro's kneeling down above Wado, and he thinks Mihawk's about to slash out on Zoro. So Zoro sees that Wado's in the way. Zoro picks up Wado, throws it at Luffy. Luffy will catch it. Zoro turns around as fast as he can, so he doesn't get scratched on his back, and Mihawk will scratch him in the chest. As soon as Zoro is about to fall over unconscious, Mihawk questions why Zoro would sacrifice his blade. Not sacrifice, but get rid of his blade and sacrifice his bodies or his blade. Zoro says, "That blade was entrusted to me and it's strong. I don't want a strong thing being destroyed because of a weakling like me. And plus, scars in the back of our swordsman's shame." Mihawk would chuckle, saying, "Lucky that wound isn't fatal." Mihawk then walks to his coffin boat, I guess, and says, "My name is Dracula Mihawk. I left you alive so you can get stronger. Now come face me when you are stronger." Mihawk gets on his boat and leaves. Luffy walks over to Zoro as Luffy just makes sure Luffy just grabs some water and starts sprinkling it all over Zoro's wound. As no, it's not salt water, but they came out not Johnny. This came out with some water to make sure Zoro was hydrated. Not hydrated, but just stay conscious, to focus on something other than just trying to breathe and stuff. Luffy pours some water on Zoro's wound, just to see if Zoro's still conscious. And Zoro was like, "Damn it, don't do that." But Luffy says, "Alright, you're awake." He picks up Zoro, saying, "Okay, on the ship," as they bring Zoro aboard, and Luffy means patching up patching up Zoro as best he can. Johnny and Yosuke watch over Zoro for a bit, until Zoro then apologizes for breaking Johnny's blade. As soon as Usopp walks in, saying, I'll see what to repair what I can of this." As he holds out Arlong's blade, Usopp's trying to hold out Arlong's blade, but it's too heavy. Johnny tries to grab it, and it's pretty heavy, but Johnny's able to hold it straight, saying, "All right." Usopp kind of like not taped together, but he was able to use some different material to hold the blade together, as the sharp parts, like the teeth on it weren't shattered, but like the wooden part that were holding the teeth in place were cut. So Usopp was able to like repair it, and once it's repaired, he gives it to Johnny, as Johnny is missing a blade now. But for a few days, they said the Bratziers, Luffy recommends them not moving for a bit, so Zoro can get like rest. But Luffy looks at Sanji, like day 2, asking if he would join his crew. Sanji would say no, until Zeph actually tells Sanji, that man and his crew are moving smart. You should join them. Sanji reluctantly then goes along after Zeph and the cooks persuade him. But yeah. Now, when they're about to leave, Sanji would yell goodbye to the cooks and Zeph, and Sanji kind of just crying. When they're leaving, Luffy just nod to Zeph, saying, "It was fun training with you." Then Luffy just was like someone puts an air in his palm, shoot it towards the sail, and they jet off a little bit faster. Then set sail, they end up getting to the to Logtown. Now about the Dawn Creek crew. To be honest, Gin he didn't even set sail with them. He legit tied them all to a boat and kicked it away. And some of them were unconscious, but each time Don Creek woke up, he was knocked out. But once the crew's on the boat and they're sent away, Gin actually asks, "Can you have a job at the Brattier?" He has no talent for cooking, but he can make sure nothing like this happens again. So Gin's given taught how to cook, but he also given a job as a bodyguard, making sure people pay, making sure people don't try to rob the place. Gin's able to hone his fighting skills there, even use his legs, and learn how to use his arms more efficiently. Now the Strauss get to Logtown, and full body's not called Smoker, or not Smoker, but Logtown, like the one that rings on the phone, and it says, "There's a big shot. Luffy's coming towards you. He may not be there for a fight, but he has a bounty of 38 million. He beat me. Well, not beat me, but he took down pirates that beat me, and mainly Dawn Creek crew." And after that will give Luffy a bounty of around 43 million. And yeah, now when Luffy gets to Logtown, Smoker has some Marines watching Luffy and Zoro. Not Luffy and Zoro, basically Luffy's whole crew. And Zoro's given a bounty of 10 million. Not a big one, but a bounty. Well, and Usopp get a bounty, as Usopp, he didn't take down Gin, but he's able to just hold him off. And they gave Usopp a bounty of 2 million. Sanji, Full Body wasn't aware that Sanji joined the crew. He just thought Full Body was gone. Full Body thought Sanji was gone. Sorry for that giant stutter. But yeah, now they go around buying some stuff they need. Until eventually, he would investigate Roger's death, just resting spot or death, where he died. And Luffy still wants to be king of the pirates. He's just learning as a merchant right now in the east until he goes into the Grand Line. Eventually, suddenly, Luffy is slammed down onto where his head latched on. I was about to cut Luffy's head off, and if Dragon would use the wind fruit, about to interfere. But suddenly, as soon as the blade's in the air, Luffy's head would kind of detach from his body, and it would turn into clouds. Luffy stands up, looking at Buggy, saying, "Oh, you really made a big mistake." Lightning bolt still strikes, but as soon as it strikes, everyone looks around looking for Buggy, until they see him on the ground with a giant fist imprint on his jaw. Not his jawbone, on his cheek. Luffy just down on top of Buggy as Kabuji, Moji, and Alvida appear. The Luffy questions who Alvida is, as he hasn't fought anyone that looked good. Alvida says, "Oh, you should remember this," and she holds up her mace. And says, "Oh, the fat ugly lady." Alvida kind of her eyes kind of just go gets hollow, not hollow, but like black, just where she looks angry. Goes to hit Luffy as it goes through Luffy. Alvida continues to hit Luffy using her mace, not mace, but what's the name of it? You see how Alvida's just Kanabo, because that's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like a Kanabo. Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's a mace, but so iron mace, but it looks like a Kanabo. See? It looks like Kaido's. Well, unless it doesn't, and I'm blind, but it looks like a Kanabo. Well, Alvito goes to hit Luffy with it, and he keeps going through Luffy. Eventually, Smoker and Tashigi appear and say, we'll handle this, Straw Hat, but once I'm done with them, me and you're in a fight. Buggy would rush at Luffy saying, don't interfere with us, but legit, the Smokers point like the sea stone tip at Buggy and hits him across the face with it, and then knocks out Buggy. Alvida goes to hit Smoker, and Tashigi still slipped off, her sword slipped off Alvida. But as she goes at Smoker just hits her in the gut using the sea stone's tip and knocks her out. That's when Smoker then says, Sea Stone, the strongest thing in the world, and aged devil fruits. All the rest of Buggy's crew, like Kabuji and Moji, they're unconscious with Zoro sitting on top of Richie, who is beat up by Zoro. We have Kabuji with a slash mark on his back, and we have Moji with a fist imprint on his skull base, on his forehead. We have Nami and Usopp and Sanji, who took down the miscellaneous members. Nami is just not Zoro. Nami, Sanji, and Usopp took down miscellaneous members. Eventually, Smoker looks at Luffy, saying, I want you to fight me. Luffy then says, can I ask you a question first? Smoker would nod, saying, sure, what is it? If it's slowly your present sentence, I won't do that. Luffy then says, does your devil fruit revolve around smoke? Smoker would nod, saying, so what if it does? Luffy then says, this is going to be a good fight. Luffy's arm then starts emitting clouds. Smoker then says, indeed it will. His arm starts emitting smoke. Eventually, Luffy and Smoker begin fighting, until eventually Smoker gets close enough to Luffy, and Luffy chuckles, saying, alright, it's a smoke screen. Well, in reality it's a fog screen, but Luffy just calls it smoke screen. Luffy's palm hits the ground, and a wall of fog appears in front of Smoker, and Smoker goes through it. But Luffy's gone, and then Smoker would look for Luffy, until he's punched across the jaw by a giant, not by a giant, but by a slightly bigger fist. Luffy hits Smoker into the wall. Until Smoker's like, how do you hit me? And Smoker realizes his weapon's missing. Luffy was holding it and kind of hit Smoker across the jaw with it. Smoker thought it was a fist, but it was Smoker's weapon. So Smoker goes to get up. Suddenly Luffy's clouds are wrapping around Smoker. Luffy's on Smoker flying in the air, and then the Smoker gets sent flying down as Smoker lands head first onto the concrete and then knocks him out. Luffy looks at Tashigi, who's fighting Zoro, but Sanji just yelling at Zoro the whole time. Zoro can't really fight her seriously. Luffy walks up to Tashigi. He's like, 2-on-1. She goes to slash Luffy, who just dodges and hits her on the side of the neck, chopping inside the neck, and knocks her out. Falls over. Luffy says, All right. So does everyone have what they needed? Zoro says, yep, 2 swords. Nami says, clothes. Sanji says, food. Usopp says, goggles. Luffy would nod, and then they get the ship and set sail over Verse Mountain. The Marines go to look for Smoker and Tashigi as they see Tashigi unconscious, and they see Smoker unconscious with a very badly beaten face. Then they see his weapon stuck, stabbed inside the ground. And they see the Straw ship leaving, with Luffy kind of chuckling with a little bit of a bruise on his cheek. Yes, Smoker, I didn't say Smoker hit Luffy, but it was a bit of a fight for a bit, so Smoker hit Luffy. Luffy can't turn into clouds. That's just off reflex. Luffy trained his Elfruit, but not that far. Smoker can't do it either, I assume. But I assume you can do it after the time skip. I assume that's what the Smoker can focus on for time skip. That's hockey. But yeah, Smoker wakes up and then actually tell the Marines about Luffy, and then this lands Luffy a higher bounty already. His 42 million berry bounty wasn't even set yet. But now it was boosted up to around 70 million. Not 70, like 50 million. If you guys want to go there, 60. But yeah. So this one starts to get over. You're going over First Mountain, and so they start going down, and they see Laboon. Luffy does, but they start to think it's a giant rock. Luffy then just says, "All right, hopefully this works." Luffy then eventually just jumps from the ship, as tells Zoro, just help him. Not help him, but go to the back of the ship, and once the back is in the air, try to lift it as high as you can. Zoro run to the back with Sanji running with him. Then by the time Luffy pushes down the ship as hard as he can, eventually he goes in the air, Zoro will push it, and then Sanji kicks it, or not kicks it, but like just kind of like drop kicks it a little bit farther. Not like going full force, so it damages it, but like the ship goes a little bit over Laboon. Once it goes over Laboon, they actually look for Luffy, realizing he's a Delphi, he's a boat, and he'd go in the water. But Luffy went through Laboon's blowhole. When Luffy lands, he ends up landing right in front of Crocus. Crocus' question to Luffy then says, like, I was like crashing into the giant rock whale thing, but my ship was able to get over him. Boone and Luffy will talk for a bit, and the sharks are like yelling for Luffy, hoping he didn't drown. But Laboon ends up turning around, opening his mouth to reveal Luffy and Crocus walking on Laboon's teeth. Luffy would hold out his hand as he shoots it off, using clouds that goes to the ship. Zoro would grab Luffy's hand and just say, "All right, come to it." Luffy then just can have his cloud pull him along, and Luffy ends up getting Zoro, who pulls him up on the ship. Luffy and the Sharks will talk to Crocus for a bit until Luffy points out Vivi and Mr. 9. Vivi and Mr. 9 look confused on whether they were spotted or how they were spotted. That's what says, "Hey Nami, I'll show you how your contact works real quick." Something actually will use like a thunderball, well, like a black or a lightning ball. We can just call it lightning tempo, but he'll use it, and eventually it ends up hitting near Mr. 9 Vivi, but it kind of makes like a giant, what was it? All right, where was I? So, oh yeah, Mr. 9 and Vivi were like Luffy spotted them, asked Crocus who they were. Crocus explains that they're trying to kill Laboon. So Luffy held out like a finger, and then summoned a little bit of air and cloud just to mix it up and compress it even more. But the size like a basic rock. Shot it off and it ended up hitting near Mr. 9 and Vivi and made a giant crack because the cloud added like the weight. Luffy's attacks, the cloud would add weight or like density, while like if it would mix air with it, it would add like impact and attack power. So the cloud would weigh it down. The wind would more or less add power. So when it combined, it's a very dangerous force. And yeah, and that ball of wind right there that Luffy had made, it would weigh not like millions of pounds, but hundreds of thousands. So even if it would hit you, you're going to be crushed by it. So yeah. So once Mr. 9 and Vivi jump back, eventually Luffy appears right behind Mr. 9 and grabs him, while Zoro had appeared behind Vivi and grabbed her, and they went on to they jumped back onto the Sunny. More or less, Luffy threw Zoro, and then Luffy jumped, but it was insanely fast. So Luffy would grab Zoro and throw him and Vivi back onto the ship, while Luffy would jump back onto the ship himself. And yeah. Now, Vivi and Mr. 9 are interrogated for a bit, until eventually Luffy and Vivi will talk for a bit. Luffy's actually debating, trying to wanting to kill Vivi, and eventually Sanji once he gets on Twitter well, you're gonna kill a woman? Why? Eventually Crocus explains, they've been trying to kill an innocent whale for years. Having someone trying to destroy your restaurant and was completely innocent for years on end. As Sanji explained, the restaurant talked for a bit, and Sanji involved his restaurant in the conversation. Basically, Crocus they've been trying to kill an innocent whale for years on end. Imagine your restaurant's under attack by tons of women, even though your restaurant did nothing wrong. No bad food, no bad service, perfect service, perfect food, perfect establishment. Women are trying to sink it. What do you do? Sanji didn't even answer that, as Crocus wanted to debate. So, yeah. Now, as soon as Luffy mentions killing Vivi, Mr. 9, after Crocus and Sanji lost the argument to Crocus, eventually Mr. 9 would just yell, You wouldn't kill a princess, would you? Luffy says, Princess? Even if she is a princess, I would kill her. It just doesn't really matter. You're trying to do a heinous crime over something innocent. Eventually, Vivi explains her whole situation in Alabasta, but with Crocodile and everything. Luffy then says, Alabasta. I won't kill you if you answer me this question. Why is she? Wait, no, count all our money. I'll pause real quick. Alright, so Luffy, once Nami comes back, Nami would say, we have around like 12 million berries, 120 million berries. Yeah, around that. So 120 million berries. And after Luffy hears that, you're like, alright, cool. And that's like around $106,000. I'll just put it in pesos and euro, since that's the easiest way from. Alright, so 120 million berries. That'd be 120,000 yen. 120 million yen. So 120 million berries, 120 million yen, $106,000, 92,000 euro, and 2 million pesos. I checked my viewer rate, and most of it goes from like the UK, America, and Mexico, which is like the other small percent. But there's a small percent in the Philippines. That's like 0.1%. Okay, so yeah. Now, once Nami gets like the when she shows Luffy got the money, the food say, we have a pretty good amount, but we could have more. Luffy wants at least 1 billion berries on his ship, at least 1 billion, then they're set. But Luffy then says, with the goods I have, as he shows Luffy on the ship, asking, yes, what do you think I can get for all of that? If I were to trade all of it, what do you think I can get? VV says, well, if you're going item to item, you can get a lot of stuff, because a lot of the stuff you can't find in the desert. You have to get on merchant ships, and merchants don't really like going to Alabasta. Some do, but not a lot do. So once Luffy explains to Luffy can like think up with Nami helping him a lot, because Luffy's good at like repairing things. Like, he's the repairman of the ship. Luffy can trade, but he doesn't like know how to estimate the exact amount of money. Nami helps him with that. But eventually, Luffy and Nami come to a conclusion that, if they don't sell their stuff for money, they can just go item for item. Plus, they're selling their stuff for money. They can actually get like around 800 million berries even. So Luffy says, "All right, return your Alabasta." Then looks around, saying, "Now, what about stuff in here?" And Luffy, well, Vivi's dog coming along too, but Luffy would kind of like just pick out some clothes, saying, "You guys have 1,000 berries. I can get you guys new outfits so you're not recognized." Mr. Nine would say, "I have 800. Luffy says, "You guys, Mr. Nine, some clothes," saying, "All right, hand it over." Mr. Nine would agree. If Luffy says, "All right, you have the clothes. Now, a weapon or fuel for your weapon." Mr. Nine would say, "Damn it! I don't forget his weapon, so I'm giving him a gun." He gives Luffy all the bullets to his gun. Luffy throws the bullets to Usopp, and Usopp would catch them, saying, "All right, more ammo." Now Vivi would get her clothes. Vivi has enough berries, so she goes into like Nami's room, then changes, comes out, and she's a pretty good outfit. Now, next stop they have is Whiskey Peak. Crocus would actually offer Luffy to like trade a little bit, as Luffy would do some trading with Crocus. More or less like Crocus would give Luffy some ancient artifacts. Not like ancient, but artifacts that are not really sold anymore. So if he gets those, Crocus would get. He doesn't really want money, he's giving them to Luffy just to sell. Nami and Luffy can calculate the value, they're not sold anymore. They can have at least 1 billion berries even. So, yeah, once they reach Alabasta, Luffy's goal is completed. Luffy will most likely not be trading with anyone anymore. But Luffy gets to Whiskey Peak, and eventually, once he gets there, he realizes a lot of people actually want to trade. Luffy more or less will actually buy some booze for Zoro. Zoro's the biggest drinker in the crew. Luffy and Nami drink a little bit too, but like Usopp and Sanji does drink too. Actually, I'll try to drink. So once Luffy gets all the drinks, they end up putting on the ship, and then eventually Luffy would trade some of his more alcohol. Like Luffy's more rare alcohol. Zoro doesn't like, but Sanji likes. Luffy would keep like half of it for Sanji to use on meals, and Nami doesn't like it either, just Sanji. So they keep it like half or not half, like quarter for Sanji, or they sell the rest of it. They sell the rest of it, and actually gets a lot of money from it. They get a lot of money from it, which would result in them losing. They lost like 10 million berries in total, but they sell their more even rare alcohol, and they get 30 million berries back. So they have a lot more money. But eventually that night, the Strats are actually about to leave, until Luffy gets a bad feeling. He says, "All right, everyone be quiet. We're leaving." As Strats, if they were like drinking, Luffy would have them on the ship. As he actually did hear like some of the villagers, there's like weapons, and they're like deadly weapons. So he's like, drink on the ship just in case. So Strats were drinking on the. They must have like bought food and ran to the ship and ate and drank on there. But some of the villagers were like, "Damn it, they probably see through us or don't trust us." And Sanji trusted them. Zoro didn't trust them because Luffy didn't trust them. Nami, well, not like mainly Usopp and Sanji were trusting of them, just not Luffy, Nami, and Zoro. Zoro's like following Luffy. Nami had a bad feeling too. But they're about to leave. Vivi already told them as they're leaving, she says, "All right, good thing you guys left because these guys are going to kill us." But they're about to leave. Euron and Miss Monday were in front, were like next to the ship. As Euron questioned, "Why don't you guys stay here for a bit?" Luffy says, Nope, you guys are assassins. Your mom immediately pulls out his guns, and Miss Monday like takes off her known outfit, not her known, her nun outfit, and is like in a wrestling uniform. Vivian says, "Hey Vivi, you know them?" Vivi says, just drop it, just drop it, just get in the ship." Your mom's like, "Wait, what? You're really writing me out like that?" Vivi then says, "He moved incredibly fast and detained me and Mr. Nine without no effort, without effort. Any effort that was involved was very minimum. So just gonna get on the ship." Miss Monday was like, "Me too." As she goes to jump on the ship, suddenly an explosion is about to hit her. Until Luffy would make clouds appear behind her, and the clouds get blown apart, but Miss Monday's not hit. That was enough time for her to get on the ship, and Luffy looks up at Mr. Five and Miss Valentine today. Miss Valentine's. As Luffy looks at them, Mr. Five will jump on the ship, and Luffy already feels he's probably going to damage the ship using explosions, so Luffy will put clouds under his landing spot, and clouds eventually are blown apart by explosions. Luffy then says, "Don't blow up my ship. I just built this. Like, me and my crew just built this ship. Don't ruin it." And Miss Sharp like, "Should I care?" As he holds out a pistol towards Luffy and tries to shoot him in the head. But Luffy lets a bullet hit him, as then it blows up, and Mr. Five says, "Well, now your captain's dead." Luffy then says, "Good thing my hat isn't singed," as he kind of like shakes away some smoke using the hat, saying, "Alright." Puts the hat back on and says, "Alright, who's up throwing my staff?" So throws it to Luffy, and Luffy will catch it. But right as Usopp throws it, Miss Valentine tries to crush Usopp. But Sanji saying that like just debate whether to protect his crewmate or to let them be crushed and die. But Sanji would protect Usopp. Sanji kicks away not kicks, but like puts his foot under Miss Valentine's Day, then it kicks off her, kicks away. So once he lands on his feet, Miss Valentine's will kind of land. As she lands, she then feels a sharp uppercut from Miss Monday, which sends her flying off, overboard. Luffy kind of just surrounds her with clouds and catches her. And then Mr. Five, who keeps shooting at Luffy with the bullets going through him and basically hitting the water behind them. As the bullets aren't hitting the ship, Luffy is making sure they don't hit the ship. By the time Luffy was like, "Alright, you out of bullets now?" Mr. Five's like, "Nope, not out of bullets, but they won't hit you. And then if I try to damage your ship, they won't hit the ship." Luffy says, "Alright, good, the aerokinesis is working." So I was like, "Wait, what? How do you have two devil fruit abilities?" Luffy says, "I don't have two devil fruit abilities. My devil fruit gives me advantages with two other natures." So I was like, oh, "Damn it." Luffy trying to punch him using using explosions. When the punch about to land, Zoro kind of just grabs him by the head and just crushes it, to crush it. But he just eventually Mr. Hyde will pass out just through sheer pain instead of having his head crushed and split open like a watermelon. But yeah, not really crushed, but basically what Zoro did to Miss Monday in canon. That's what he does to Mr. Five. So if he tries to put on Zoro, he knows he probably can get beat up by the rest of the crew. So he can't really do anything without coming out dead without coming out you can't hurt Zoro fatally without coming out dead the next minute. So Mr. Five kind of lets it happen and he's unconscious. Zoro lets him go, and Luffy eventually kind of just takes her clothes well, he makes Miss Monday strip Miss Valentine's Day. Sanji's not allowed to look. Luffy isn't going to do it. He has manners. Zoro's not going to do it. He has no interest. And Usopp isn't going to do it because he has manners. So once Miss Monday has once Miss Valentine's has the nun clothes on that Miss Monday had, then they're kind of left at the island. But as they're about to leave, they destroy Miss Valentine's and Mr. Five's ship. Destroy it. But then eventually they end up going to Little Garden. When they get to Little Garden, kind of just chilling, and eventually teaching Usopp how to use a gun, or more or less more effective ways to use bullets mainly. That's the main thing teaching Usopp. But I was more or less Luffy and Usopp are both learning from how to use guns. One of Luffy's abilities is a pistol. But eventually, once Luffy gets the basics of how a gun would work and how how to aim, and Usopp gets how much damage bullets can get, Usopp wants to enhance bullets. And then yeah, my mind knows this stuff now. But yeah. But eventually, Luffy and the rest of the Strats plus the Baroque Works, they get to Little Garden. They get out. Luffy eventually starts looking around as he would ask like Igaram and Miss Monday, is there any broke works numbers here since it's near the Alabasta? And Igaram says, not that I know of. Igaram then keeps thinking, saying, wait, there might be like two. He talks about like the vulture and the beaver or the otter. Well, not otter. I'm pretty sure it might just like a beaver or a weasel. But Igaram mentioned those two, and Luffy just tells Zoro, well, she just tells Sanji, hey, go go catch her dinner. That's basically what he tells Sanji. Go get dinner. That's what he tells. Yeah, that's it. So Sanji runs off going to find the vulture and the weasel, and Igaram mentions they're wearing clothes, so it shouldn't be so hard to find them. And then eventually, Luffy would like the shots come across Dory and Bragi, and they talk for a bit. Now, Dory and Bragi plus Strats get along for a bit. Eventually, Luffy mentions Brokeworks to them, as there might be some agents working here. Luffy just says, Brokeworks is trying to kill us, and they might be watching something around here now, but just so they don't hear us. Luffy just says, he needs to crouch down for a bit. And Bragi can get down for a bit, kind of lay down. He's able to make a dome of clouds around them, saying, all right, I can't hold this for long, but he talks to him for a bit, and eventually Dory and Bragi like, all right, so if one of us is hurt, or one of you guys is hurt, it's the Brokeworks. Luffy says, yeah, keep battling, just watch out for people that aren't us. And Dory and Bragi can nod as much as they can, but Luffy didn't take some of the barriers, saying, all right, that was tiring, I'm gonna lay down for a bit. And Luffy just falls over, saying, oh god. As that takes basically all of Luffy's concentration to do that. It's a barrier surrounding someone that's hundreds of feet long. So yeah. Now, after a bit, Dory and Bragi drink alcohol and eventually it kind of blows up. And they already know it's not the Strats because Strats aren't anywhere nearby. But Dory would look down and he sees a man in a blue suit and a little girl. Dory then says, Bragi, this hurts too much for me to yell. Why don't you yell? Bragi says, alright, fine. Bragi then yells at the Strats, as Luffy, who sits up, alright, let's go. Then he comes back saying, alright, kill them both. He then throws the weasel and the vulture on the ship, and says, alright, let's go. And then run towards them, as when they get there, Dory points the direction where Miss 3 and Miss Golden Week went. Luffy says, starts thinking, saying, alright, let me try this. Luffy jumps in the air as he still makes clouds appear under his feet, and then makes him get propelled by wind mainly. Luffy then gets flying around through the woods using it, and he just dodge branches and stuff as he goes. But Luffy more or less makes sure his face is intangible and his hat is held on. But eventually, Luffy ends up getting right above Mr. 3 and Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week. And they don't see Luffy until they hear a branch snap. They look up and they see Luffy. He's about to send out tons of just not clay but wax at Luffy. But Luffy just falls to his cloud and uppercuts Mr. 3, breaking his glasses and knocking him out. And then he legit right hooks Miss Golden Week across the face, knocking her out. Miss Golden Week is like 15, she's Chopper's age actually. Yeah, she's Chopper's age. So when Luffy just right hooks her, she's knocked out. And Luffy then says, He gets his cloud that's still in the air as he ties it around, compresses it around Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week, and brings them in front of Dory and Bragi, saying, these two? Dory and Bragi would nod, as Luffy then slams them to the ground, waking them both up. Alright, you two. Well, why'd you do that to the Giants? They're nice people. They're nice. And Mr. 3 then says, we're here to kill you, that's all. Mr. 3 then tries to find someone to get out, but each time his wax leaks through, it's immediately just put back in. He can't get out. So eventually, Miss Golden tries painting on Mr. 3 to enhance his strength, make him angry or something, just fueling his adrenaline, but it won't work. He can't move. Eventually, Luffy just sends them pretty high in the sky. No, they're still within earshot, but if they fall, they're probably gonna die. Eventually, Luffy says, "All right, who do you work for?" And Vivi only knows Crocodile is Mr. Zero. I assume the higher, the closer, the ones that are closer to him, the lower numbers. I assume they might know his name or meet with him. So Luffy says, "All right, what's his name? Where is he? What does he do?" Recently, Mr. 3 gives all he knows about Crocodile, even the name, and he then reveals that Crocodile is a warlord. Nami already figured out that that Arlong wasn't a warlord, But eventually, when they hear Crocodile is a warlord, Luffy then drops them on the ground, but not fast like normally. Once he lets them go, there's three of them goes like his wax boxer. But as he goes like for the first punch, he just punches it in the chest and it flying back. And it was like it wasn't a hand's punch, so it kind of like just cracked it a lot more. And there's three get like and like hits the tree, and the whole thing shatters, and he falls unconscious. Well, looks like it's Golden Week as she just sits down like in this offering up her like a painting board. Luffy just breaks it. He looks around, saying, all right, Dory and Broggy, we'll make sure you two heal." As he drags Mr. 3 and Mr. Golden Week aboard the ship and ties them up. And they're not in like the trading room, but like kind of hold them in the room where like I guess on night like the room where they keep like food. The room where they keep food. There's not really anything to have them escape. Like it's not in the kitchen. There's just like there's so much food and shit on the ship. It should just be in the kitchen. They hold the food in there, like random room. Luffy ties them up. He's going to keep them in there, and eventually Luffy will just make sure Dory and Broggy heal properly. It doesn't take them too long to heal, but yeah. Eventually, when they leave, Luffy would just tell like Mr. 3, we're going to Alabaston. We're going to Alabaston now. After leaving, Luffy then realizes, like within like a day of sailing, he realizes that this time it's Sanji who got sick. Sanji only got sick because, for once, he's actually running around the whole forest looking for. He was running around, didn't care what he was going through. And if he knew it was poisonous, he didn't run through it. He ran through a bush that had like a tick and it bit Sanji. Sanji got it off, but it was poisonous. So Sanji got sick, and Luffy eventually brings him to Drum Island, hoping there's a doctor there. Suddenly they come across like Walpole's ship. As soon as Walpole tries to get aboard, Luffy just makes like all the clouds that makes Arlong bounce right off. Not Arlong. Walpole will bounce right off it back onto the ship. Luffy says, "So just don't go near my ship. You can get permission. I don't like you. I don't like you already. Don't go near it." Now Walpole's he thinks like the devil fruit user. As Mushiru, who woken up from Luffy yelling at Walpole, he sees the Strut ship sailing away, and he sees Walpole's on the ground. He asks Kumo-Kumo what happened, and Kuro explains what happened. Mushiru says, "You just try to jump on a random ship and try to eat it and expect everyone to let you do it?" Walpole says, "Yes, I'm king. I'm king, and they should let me do whatever I want." Mushiru slaps Walpole across the face, saying, "You idiot! We're not in the kingdom anymore. We're on the sea. No one knows who you are. No one knows who I am. No one knows who Kumo-Kumo and Checks are. No one knows who we are. We're not in Drum Island." Walpole says, "They'll know my name." Mushiru says, "No, they won't. We're about to go back home." Now, Luffy kind of is amplifying the wind around the ship just to make the ship go faster. But once they get to Drum Island, Dalton has people ready with guns. Luffy says, "All right." Luffy will inhale and then just exhales as much as he can, pushing every villager back, and their guns just drop to the ground because they're trying to make sure they don't get sent flying. Dalton's able to withstand it and says, "There's a lot of power behind that." Luffy appears right in front of Dalton, just slams him on the ground, saying, all right, did we do something wrong?" And Dalton's so fast. They'll just pick up their guns again, but Zoro would suddenly just make it everyone just sees a giant blue streak in front of them, as Zoro will just made a whole circle, and their guns are cut in half. This up has a slingshot ready with bullets in it, and Nami has her climb attack ready. Nami knows how to use it. Sanji's on the ship preparing the weasel and the giant vulture. But after Luffy explains to Dalton why they're here, Vivi, Mr. 5, Vivi, Mr. 9, Igaram, and Miss Monday come out in winter clothes, and they jump on the land, and eventually they just have huts inns ready for them, and they sleep there. Eventually, Luffy will he tells Nami to do some trading and have Nami negotiate with some men. No, not sleep with them, but seduce them into getting higher prices for items. So he told Nami that personally, just find some way for men to do your thing. As he assumes that Nami might have actually seduced some men for money, as he heard about the whole Kokeshi village thing. Never mind that. So eventually, once Nami gets more money for the crew, she brings it onto the ship, and they have 300 million berries. That's how much money she earned that quickly. And eventually, when Luffy brings Sanji all the way through the mountains, and they get Sanji dressed first, Sanji like, he was still like wanting to cook for them. He didn't really care. He was sick. He still wanted to prepare. The sickness wasn't contagious, at least I assume. But I mean, this one, if it is contagious in Canada, it's not contagious here. Luffy brings Sanji all the way, like, he's carrying Sanji using clouds. Because Luffy doesn't know it's not contagious, but he didn't know Sanji was still preparing food. But as soon as Sanji gets, well, Sanji's mainly covered in clouds at this point. Luffy covers Sanji in clouds to keep him warm too. So Sanji's not in winter clothes. Sanji's just covered in like warm clouds. Anytime there's like a Yeti. Luffy just swings the clouds around, swinging Sanji around using the clouds to hit all the villagers, all like the Yetis. Then Luffy says, "All right, Sanji, you ready for this?" And Sanji would nod tiredly. As soon as Luffy just flings Sanji in the air as high as he can, Luffy then says, "All right, time for me to try this." Luffy will try this again. Luffy kind of jumps in the air, and suddenly clouds will appear below Luffy. He uses the air to amplify them, and Luffy spins all around the mountains as he goes higher up and higher up. As soon as Luffy gets up high enough, he will catch Sanji. The clouds disperse. He catches Sanji, lands, and runs inside with Sanji. Entering Sanji inside, Luffy would about to close the door until he sees like baby birds chirping. Luffy would just bring Sanji to the nearest room that has the door open. So Luffy would lay him down and lay Sanji down. He runs back out, jumps on top of the door, grabs the birds, and moves them to like a tree nearby. As he moves them to a tree nearby, he's using clouds to move them, so his missile scent is on it, so they don't have to leave. Once Luffy puts the birds down, he goes back inside. As Dr. Chopper just saw Luffy move the birds away, and Luffy will close the doors. Dr. Chopper, not knowing who Luffy is, they can they see him through windows that they're able to open. Then they see Sanji and Luffy in a room. And Luffy's just grabbing as much stuff as he can to treat Sanji. Eventually, Dr. Green walks in saying, "Now, what are you doing in my castle?" Luffy looks at her saying, "Sorry, but my friend needs help, badly." Green walks up to Luffy. She's shocked that he's not even wearing winter clothes. As Luffy said, he has control over air. He can make sure he's warm at all times. Not a lot of control, but he has some control over it. So once it touches his skin, Luffy makes it warm. Then same with Sanji. He made Sanji in clouds, and then yeah. But when Sanji is being treated, pause real quick and go use the bathroom. So Dr. Rain saying how much Luffy is turning. Luffy doesn't even know what he's doing to Sanji. He knows what he's doing, but not a lot. But once the Dr. Rain stops Luffy about to put some poisons on Sanji, Luffy didn't know. But Dr. Rain grabs proper stuff and starts treating Sanji. She did say that Luffy was doing actually pretty good with treating him, plus the treatment Sanji got on the ship. But yeah, Sanji got some treatment on the ship, and Dr. Rain was able to say, one or 2 days, he should be fine. Luffy would say thanks. And he sits down as Chopper will walk up to Luffy, questioning, how aren't you wearing, you don't have fur, and you're not wearing winter clothes. How are you surviving? And Luffy's more shocked that Chopper can speak, as he asked Chopper about that first, and Chopper explained, he ate a weird fruit, and now he can speak, walk, do everything a human can. Once Luffy heard that, he's like, oh, then I'm somewhat like you. It seems like he ate devil fruit, and now he can actually turn into clouds. And Luffy and with clouds, I can also control wind and water, a little bit of fog. And Chopper heard that, he thought it was pretty cool. So yes, Luffy got started to show it. As Luffy then he's turning some of the snow into water, and then spinning it around, and then turning it back into snow, but kind of freezing it with using cold air, and he turned it into ice. And he spun used more wind to fling it out towards the tree, and basically turn it into a shuriken. Now Luffy would do it regular air turning into water. Luffy can make a small droplet of water, and then turn it into ice, and then fling it at someone like a bullet. Let's show this a new move for Luffy. We made a new one. But yeah, eventually Chopper thought it was pretty cool, and Luffy asked to see Chopper's power. Chopper would agree, and shows off all the points, even using rumble balls at that point too. Once Chopper was done showing his basic forms, Luffy asked, what happens if you eat multiple at a time? Chopper then talks about Monster Point. Luffy then says, "Show me Monster Point." Chopper's immediately never saying, I can't do that. I can't show it off here. It's too close to the mountain. No, too close to the edge. Too close to the castle. Luffy says, "Just do it. I'll make sure no damage occurs." Chopper finally agrees. There's 10 minutes of bargaining, and Chopper eats 3 rumble balls. Once Chopper eats all 3, Eventually, Chopper goes Monster Point and goes going berserk, about to hit the castle. Luffy just makes clouds, like wall of clouds in front of the castle, and Chopper's hand can get through the density of the clouds. Luffy then makes clouds travel up Chopper's arm, and basically spin him in the air. Like Luffy's making the clouds like rotate and take speed, so it spins Chopper around too. Once Chopper's flung high in the air, and Chopper hits about to hit Luffy's hand, Luffy jumps in the air and punches Chopper in the back of the head, knocking him out. When Chopper's not knocked unconscious, Luffy just pins Chopper down and makes sure he can't get up until he wakes up. Luffy's like putting thousands of pounds, 100,000 pounds on Chopper, so he can't move. So when Chopper wakes up, he's back in like small form, and he says, huh? Because the castle's undamaged. The snow has a lot of footprints in it, but Luffy's undamaged. He's up saying, "You really contained me." Luffy says, "Yeah, I did." Chopper checks how many not monster points, how many like normal balls he has. He's a few hundred. He says, "All right, I'm gonna take like 20 rumble balls. Until he gets better, I want you to contain me while I use monster points. See if I can control it." Luffy nods, saying, "Sure." Luffy makes a giant Luffy testing its limits with like his clouds. It's at this point seeing like how dense he can make them, how high he can make them, how large. Luffy's doing some training in too. By the time Sanji heals, it took like an extra day, so basically total 3 days. By the time Sanji heals, he walks outside, saying that in winter clothes this time, got him some. He's outside saying Luffy, who's panting, covered in sweat, not even wearing a shirt, in front of Chopper, who is just tired on the ground in Monster Point form. Sanji ready for a fight until Chopper then says, "Oh, you're finally awake." He goes, "Hey, you're finally conscious." He looks at Chopper, and looks at Sanji saying, "I'm good, you're conscious too." Luffy falls over, unconscious. Sanji says, "Alright," he grabs Luffy's foot and brings him inside so he can rest for a bit. Chopper goes to a small form, and Sanji drags him inside too. Yes, she has talking about Chopper, and Doctor needs a very quick explanation about it. But Luffy's able to wake up for a bit and asks about Chopper's basically whole existence and Doctor goes over Dr. Hirulik goes over everything. Chopper wakes up the end of the story. When he stands up saying, "What story were you telling?" He's just rubs his eyes. Dr. Trini says, "He wanted to know about you, so I told him about Dr. Hirulik and the time you spent with him." This is Chopper would smile saying, "Yeah, not a happy life." Luffy would say, "I guess so. But you should be proud about basically making it this far in life. Plus, you controlled the one form you couldn't." Chopper then says, "And you're able to make better, stronger clouds." Luffy says, "Yep, and I boosted the weight of them to 2 million, I think." Luffy makes a giant cloud appear in the sky, like a basic cloud. And then Luffy just sends it flying down on tons of trees and it crushes them in basically dust. Luffy then swings the cloud around until suddenly Kumo-Kumo, Mushuru, Chess, and Wobble come up the mountain. Some of the guards are with him too. But as soon as they come up the mountain, they look at Luffy, who's gotten some rest. Luffy's a little bit tired, but he's able to fight pretty properly. The Chopper, who's not really ready for a fight, they see Sanji, who's actually perfectly fine right now. Wapol says, You're the one that made sure I can eat." Luffy points to Luffy. Luffy says, "Who are you again?" Wapol says, I jumped on your ship." He says, oh yeah, the giant metal jaw guy. Wapol and Luffy, Wapol yells at Luffy while Luffy just looks at him. Eventually, Luffy had enough Wapol, he's in front of him, using intense speed, and he goes to punch him. And Mushiro would go for a kick, right as Luffy's going for a punch. Luffy would kind of dodge until punches Wapol across the face and flying off the mountain. But Mushiro would catch him as Wapol says, "Thanks, brother," as Wapol says, "Anytime." Wapol says, "Thanks again," as Mushiro's like, "Huh?" But suddenly Wapol would eat Mushiro, and Wapol's able to just get bigger, and he's able to use Mushiro's power. They basically kind of 2 devil fruits in one, but not exactly. Wapol then gets using his power as Wapol begins using Mushiro's power, while Kumo-Kumo and Chess begin using their power, and the guards begin firing at Luffy. They try to go for an attack that doesn't hit Luffy, and they can't hit the castle either. So they're just a pointless battle. But eventually Sanji will jump in the air and kick himself off the castle, and kicks Wapol across the jaw, whilst knocking him out immediately. But once Wapol falls, he hits the snow, and Luffy then just turns the giant wall around the castle, and it flying in the air, and about to make it crush Wapol. So it's like a tiny ball, but still it's compressed. Wapol tries to hold the tiny ball up, and might not even weigh anything. As Wapol tries to hold it up, he can't even like hold it up using one hand. His body's getting crushed. Even trying to use two hands, it still won't lift, not even an inch. But eventually, Luffy just sends it flying back in the air, saying, "All right, you obviously can't hold it." Wapol sits up again, saying, "Yeah, this thing suddenly comes flying by Wapol's head and hits him right across the face, knocking him out." And so the guards look at Chopper, who jumps out the window. His Chopper's barely able to move. Chopper goes into his biggest form. One is like a monster point, but like his half like a hybrid form. Once he lands on his feet on the ground, he's on his fist on the ground like the Hulk. Once a lot of snow gets flying in the air, Chopper grabs one guard and flings him into the rest. Well, there's like 3 left, but that's left with Dr. Rain, who just throws an axe at them, and they jump off the mountain in fear. Eventually, Luffy would tie up Wapol, and not tie up, just like cover them in clouds. Luffy then says, "All right, here you go," and just moves his fingers in the air, kind of backwards, and then flying halfway across like Drum Island. Eventually, Luffy jumps off the mountain after Sanji. After they talk for a bit, Chopper follows Luffy as when Chopper lands. He lands in the snow, but yeah. Now Sanji's ready to fight the Yetis until they don't even want to move against. They don't want to make a move against Luffy. In the village, they see Zoro just sitting in the snow, meditating, swords out, sword in his mouth. They have Nami, who just got off the ship, got off the ship, and she's holding a few berries in her hand. He says, "All right, how much do we make?" Nami says, "A little over 200 million." We have five Nami saying, "Perfect." So yeah. Now eventually, Luffy goes to Usopp, who's actually using some the bullets that he found there. Not found, but found some bullets. We got some bullets there, and started freezing them. So they have a little more of an impact. And plus, if they hit the ground, they don't shatter or explode like a normal bullet would. Usopp can grab it again and fire it again. So yeah. Now they see Chopper with Luffy, and they question is that food? Luffy says, "Nope, he's our new doctor." Chopper and Dr. Grant are immediately confused with Sanji. And Luffy offers Chopper, you join my crew. We need a proper doctor. Chopper then says, "Well, I don't know if I should." Listen, Luffy says, "You owe me." Chopper then says, "What do I owe you?" You owe us for helping with Sanji. Luffy then grabs Nami, grabs money out of her hand, and says, "All right, 10,000 berries. Now you owe me again. I paid you. You owe me again." Chopper then says, "Anyway, you owe me is you're my ship's doctor." Chopper in face palms, or I guess hoof palms, saying, "All right, fine, I guess so." He says, "All right, good. Dr. Green, you can get angry at me. He owed us, or owed me mainly." Dr. Green would sigh, saying, "Damn it! All right, just keep him safe. He's a child, basically. He's basically a child." Luffy would smile, saying, "I'll take good care of him." Dr. Green would nod. She's like, a few days they leave, and yeah, now so we leave. We're ending this part here. If you guys enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment if you like the video, comment if you didn't like it. Bye.